below estimates. Let's welcome in our morning guest. T.S. Harihar now joins us. S.V. Prasad is also with us. Ruchit Jain is joining in as well from Angel Broking, and we'll soon have K. Subramaniam as well. Good morning, gentlemen. S.V., let me start with you. What's the sense that you get? What are the names that you would want to buy if there is a decline?
I am not, venturing any buy right now, Pankaj, because there's a credit policy, Indian credit policy, which is coming just 2 days, and it's not going to be easy for the MPC. There are all kinds of bets are being placed from no change to 25 basis to 50 basis. Frankly, if Raghuram Rajan had been there, I would have said he would have not increased or done anything at all, or decreased or done anything at all. The present setup, it's to take a call. So that uncertainty is clearly there. The demonetization thing is still going on. The FOMC meeting going to happen in a week's time. And you yourself said, November, we've seen $3 billion of sales of debt and equity by foreign institutional investors. So given all this, it would be a brave man to stick his neck out. So I would frankly wait and watch, get a clearer picture on what the December quarter's numbers look like, and then take a call, because clearly the general trend seems to be down. And you also said something about DII and that not to take a call based on 1 day's trade volumes. But net, given all this, I think one needs to wait and watch and look at only the large cap solid names. That's the kind of, for example, a name like Mahindra and Mahindra, which I've mentioned sometime in the past, but not recently. Now that's a name which I will closely track. But it would be a brave man to talk about buying anything at declines in these kind of markets.
Right. SV, I'll just come back to you. Harihar, what are your calls?
No, see, broadly our theme is dollar defensives, as I call it, because the domestic uncertainty is so high, and notwithstanding whether the RBI cuts the rate or doesn't cut the rate, I think the demonetization has created so much of domestic uncertainty, possibility of a slowdown, that we are sticking purely to dollar defensives. So all the three stocks that we are looking at today, they're essentially stocks that are not dependent on the Indian market, and number two, they're not dependent on how the rupee market or the domestic crunch happens. So our first call is on Infosys, where we have a buy with a target of 1050. Our second call is on Motherson Sumi, where we are expecting about a 15-20% upside in the stock. And the last is Lupin, which is a pharma company, where we are expecting a target of about 1600 to 1620. And all these are typically a 1 to 1.5 months target.
Right. Ruchit, on the basis of technicals, what are the calls for the day?
Good morning, Pankaj. Pankaj, purely on base of charts, we have seen on the weekly charts, the Nifty had formed a bullish pattern around the 50% retracement support. So that that low is still intact, and in spite of last 2 days of selling pressure, we believe that this could be just a retracement down move. And again, we would see another leg of up move in Nifty in next few trading sessions. So accordingly, I have two buy calls for short term. One is to go along an HDFC Bank. This stock has corrected since last 1 month, and since last 3-4 trading sessions has been trading near its 200-day simple moving average. That's a crucial support zone for this stock, and hence there is high probability of a pullback move along with the markets in HDFC Bank. So one can go long with keeping a stop loss below 1150, expecting a target of 1259. And my second pick would be a buy in Biocon. Probably the higher degree charts are still showing that the uptrend in the stock is still intact. During the recent correction, 20 days exponential moving average had acted as a resistance, which has been broken out during last week. So I think this stock would show another leg of up move in near term. So one can go long in Biocon, keeping stop loss below 871, expecting target around 990.
Right. SV, you mentioned earlier that you would not want to take a call 2 days ahead. But stocks are generally something that people always research on and tend to have their names. What would you look to buy, say, if there is a decent correction?
So HDFC Bank certainly is a name that I'm also keenly watching. So that's clearly one name. SBI has always been my perennial favorite among the PSU banks. So is HPCL, and the other name I mentioned was Mahindra and Mahindra. That's a name which I had not mentioned earlier. Because they are well positioned, but for this disruption due to demonetization, the good rainfall, the monsoon would have really benefited agro-based, agricultural market-based stock like Mahindra and Mahindra. Another name which I would have certainly looked at is both Bajaj Auto and Hero Honda. These are some of the names which readily come to my mind, Pankaj. in terms of the names which one would closely track. Sun Pharma is another name because that's corrected quite a bit. So therefore, that stock is, I think, primed to look once some of the clouds clear and the dust settle. Where the stock has really come off, it's not done well compared to its other names. IT names, I will keep a wide berth, given all the disruption happening in the global market with Trump and then this Italian election and other elections happening. I would frankly keep a little wide berth as far as IT names are concerned. So, across spectrum, quite a few names that one could look at and watch very closely.
All right, let's now focus on a few other stocks that are in the news today and we'll be watching out for. We've got Crompton Greaves. It has extended ongoing talks with Powell's Sparco. The talks are
Degrading Corporation, numbers not that great. If you look at the profit numbers, losses at 143 crores versus 20 crores. Total income came in at 161 crores and the margins were close to about 7%. Clear impact of sales declining, and that led to all the numbers looking in like a miss for Degrading Corp. So we'll wait and watch in terms of how these stocks open. Harihar, what do you make of the banking space, and how do you see this impacting, say, something like a MFI, something like a NBFC?
See, at this point of time, Pankaj, I think the MFIs and the NBFCs are probably the worst hit. Because most of them are operating, let us say, mofussil areas in semi-urban segments where the cash transaction proportion is fairly higher. So I think today what is happening is roughly about 10,20,000 crores has been impounded by the banks. But I think what has come back is probably a fraction of that. So that is creating a huge imbalance in the system. And that is what is the big bane as far as the NBFCs and MFIs are concerned. So we continue to be cautious on them. I think banks are a slightly different ballgame. They may go through a slight churn for the next 1 or 2 months. But I think within the banking space, probably select PSU banks, they're still to me looking fairly good at these levels.
right. Mr. Prasad, what do you do with some of the oil and gas names now that the OPEC decision is behind us and the deal will kick off from January? Do you think the exploration space will look better? Because we've seen some of the smaller exploration offshore stocks start to move higher. Any view there?
Yeah, I mean, what you say is absolutely right, but I will still watch that space carefully, to see what exactly the new US president's call will be, because there's a lot of geopolitics that happen between US on one side and OPEC on the other. So therefore, I will wait and watch whether OPEC is able to hold on to this truce within themselves in terms of cutting production, or is it just a temporary lull? What is going to be Donald Trump's reaction? Therefore, I would frankly focus more on the oil marketing companies which continue to have a good run. A lot of it is already built into the price, but I would much rather look at that and then look at something like an HPCL, which I've been talking for a long time, because if we look at the PE of HPCL versus even Indian Oil or definitely Bharat Petroleum, there is definitely a scope because quality of earnings are pretty decent. So I would much rather look at the oil marketing companies rather than really taking a big call on the exploration bit.
Right. Mr. Harihar, post this demonetization effect, fintech is one which everybody seems to like, and IT as a space seems to have stabilized. So would you look at any of these companies, IT companies, who could benefit from this entire digital payments, and would you think that there could be some investments made there?
See, there are a lot of fintech companies in India, starting from Paytm, but my understanding is most of them are unlisted companies. So in terms of stock market returns, I'm not sure how many of them could be directly impacted. In terms of IT companies benefiting from it, see, most of the Indian IT companies are largely global plays. I don't think they're really domestic plays. 80 to 85% of the revenues still comes from the European and the American market. So I don't think that is really big. But I agree, probably over the next 2 or 3 years, we could see a lot more of fintech companies getting listed. And I think then we could see opportunities, but at this point of time you really don't have what I call a good size of fintech listed companies where you could actually put your money in.
Right, just about 30-40 seconds remaining for markets to open. But Harihar, again, about fintech very quickly, some of these banks launching their own apps, own wallets, would you be interested, or it's too small right now considering the size?
No, you're right, Pankaj. It's too insignificant at this point of time. If you take an SBI or an ICICI Bank, I think that the fintech proportion would actually be very, very insignificant, both from a top line and a bottom line point of view.
Right. So wait for the success and then probably take a call.
Yeah.
Right, just about 8-10 seconds remaining for markets to open. The pre-open session is behind. Sensex is up about 22-23 odd points and Nifty is looking flat. SGX Nifty indicated a 22-point decline start, so we'll wait and see as to where it opens. We have a global development regarding Italy referendum as well, but it's broadly in line. It's really nothing that the markets did not expect coming in. SBI is up 50 paisa, Tata Motors is down close to 0.60, Bank of Baroda 161 and Hindalco at about 169. ONGC 2 rupees decline, ICICI Bank up about 0.15, BHEL down 0.25% and Tata Steel up around 2 to 3 rupees. Tata Power 0.45 paisa higher, ITC flat with a negative bias. M&M, there is an upgrade which is coming from Merrill Lynch, and that's why probably it's up around 10 to 12 rupees. Sun Pharma is down 35 paisa, Asian Paints no change, Infosys really no change, and BPCL is also down just 0.25%. Even for the markets, we are just down 10 points for Nifty, so it's really no change. Ambuja Cement flat, Kotak Bank flat, Aurobindo Pharma as flat as it could get, Reliance up about 1 to 2 rupees. So if I just pull up the Nifty stocks and try and find out if there is any major mover, because most of them seems to be flat. Bharti Infratel is up 1.8, that's the top gainer. M&M, of course, as I told you, there is an upgrade which is coming from Merrill Lynch, 1% higher, 1157 for Merrill Lynch, that's the top gainer. Bharti Infratel 1.2%. M&M is up around 1.05, 1157, and Lupin is up 0.77%. In terms of losers, it's HDFC, it's Dr. Reddy's which is down 1.4%, and these are broadly the names that on the Nifty path that deserve a mention. Apart from this, don't really think that anything major seems to be happening. Sun TV is up close to 5%. NMDC is up close to 2%. These are two names in the broader market space which are reacting, and Kolte Patil is up 10%. Kolte Patil, of course, seems to be reacting to its results, seems to be reacting to its numbers. So Kolte Patil is up at about 103 odd rupees. Peninsula Land also up about 10%, and KEC International is up close to 2%. KEC International, if I'm not wrong, has got an order, or they have submitted in disclosure in the month of November, was the sort of ordering activity that the company has got, and that's why probably it's reacting on that front. On the CNX top 200, Sun TV is now the top gainer. Procter & Gamble, that's PNG, declared numbers, but really no volumes, just 263 shares. It's up around 2.5%. Thermax, Group Finance, JSPL, Piramal Enterprise are some of the other gainers. Titan is up around 1.5%, 318 for Titan. They had a con call. We've had some brokerage calls coming in on Titan. Most of them seems to be positive. The Titan management said that they would be looking at unorganized market being lower, and that's probably the reason why it's up 1.5%. Anisha, any volume names that you can pick up, or any names that have unusual volume activity?
Well, you mentioned Kolte Patil. That one is up 10% and it's come out with its earnings. So amongst the stocks being traded in strong volumes, that's one stock. Then we've got A2C Infra. That one is up 3%. NMDC has also moved higher by 3%. We've got Sunil High Tech. It's seen large volumes, 4 million shares being changed. It's up 3.5%. HPL Electric is also up 5.5% on decent volumes. On the losing end, we are seeing, I think Crompton had faced some pressure. It's now down 3%. So Crompton Greaves is down 3%. We've got Dewan Housing Finance not losing much, but amongst the losers today, and HDFC is down 2%. So the housing finance basket seems to be losing out. Then there are other losers like Puravankara Projects is down, Torrent Pharma is down, we've got Duratec down, Apollo Tyres also trading in the red at this point of time. So this is what's happening for some of the stocks in this space. Ruchit, do you have a view on HDFC, the housing finance major? It has corrected quite significantly. On the charts, do you see any pattern that would perhaps suggest a good buy?
See, as of now, if we see the last 3 weeks, the stock was consolidating and taking support around 1200, 1210 levels. In today's trading session, we have seen that support being broken down. So I think for very short term, in case by closing it doesn't, if it is not able to again recover today's losses, then this selling could get a bit further extended up to 1145, 1150 levels. Those ideally could be good levels to again enter in for the stock. But I think one should clearly wait for some more decline before getting into the stock again.
Right. Ruchit, your view on Axis Bank? This one has remained range bound but has not really moved up. What levels do you see for Axis Bank? It seems to be finding a lot of support around 460 levels. Will this hold? What's your view?
Yes, definitely, I think one can take a contra call over here on Axis Bank, because the entire corrective move from 620 levels to 460 has completed one impulsive down move. So whenever one 5-wave impulsive down move is completed, the next phase we usually see a correction of that. So we can, since it was a down move, so we can expect a corrective up move in this, so which would be retracement of this entire fall from 620 to 450 odd levels. So I think we are this stock is trading around good support levels. Any kind of pullback move should at least see the stock again retracing back to 500 odd levels. So I think the risk reward ratio in the stock at current levels is very favorable in favor of the bulls. So one can take a contra call and go long on Axis Bank around current levels, keep a stop loss below 445 and expect a target of around 500 in the near term.
Right. I just wanted to highlight HDFC Limited. It's a stock which is now down 3.5%. If you could just pull up that name, 3.5% decline. It's a big heavyweight. It's a name which is known not to decline even if the markets are not looking that great. But it's a name which has started to decline. It's a name which has started to see some selling pressure. 3.4% down now. It opened around 1238 and it's now down 3%. In the last 1 month, it's down about 14%. Harihar, what do you do with a stock like HDFC? Do you think it's just a portfolio stocks, FIs are selling and then maybe some pressure to sell? That's all what you think?
No, I think I was just looking at the data of the stock, and there seems to be a mix of both. I don't think FIs are selling too heavily on that counter, but then there have been domestics selling out a bit. There have been traders actually exiting in a big way. But I think the bigger concern on HDFC is something different. See, apparently the demonetization is expected to cut real estate values to about 25 to 30%. Now, and a chunk of this pressure is likely to happen in 3 areas, that is NCR, Mumbai, and Bengaluru. Now, obviously, I think there is going to be some impact of that on HDFC. The impact will be much bigger on South-based or NCR-based companies. But I think HDFC is definitely going to take a hit. Now, after 15% correction, I think the worst may be over as far as HDFC is concerned. And also what will happen is, there will be now a clear distinction between the wheat and the chaff. So, you have the guys like HDFC, LIC Housing Finance outperforming the others. And I think this is probably a good time for a very smart long-term investor to enter the stock and start buying HDFC.
So HDFC, you would start to buy if you were an investor?
Absolutely. I think at 15% lower, definitely makes a good case for buying.
Right. SV, you also always look at tried and tested name, and I think HDFC would come into the part of tried and tested name. 14% correction in 1 month and you would be a buyer?
Yeah, but not to a great extent, because apart from what TS just mentioned, also the question of the mix of HDFC's business between their lending to some of these real estate players would also be something that one will have to closely watch, because HDFC is a combination of their core business as well as other income. Large part of it is this lending to real estate players. So perhaps some of the market players are also concerned that what's going to happen there, both in terms of their security margin as well as in terms of liquidity. So frankly, between HDFC Bank, I would tend to look closely at HDFC Bank. Yeah, to some extent look at HDFC, but still I would wait and watch. I would not rush right now. And if it means that wait for the October-December results, what the management is saying, if it means a little bit of an upward movement, I would much rather take that call rather than just jumping. Maybe a little bit I'll buy, but not to a great extent.
Right, but you talk to a lot of FII, DII investors. It's a portfolio stock and it can just see the near-term pressure as well in terms of just a redemption pressure coming in, because it's a portfolio stock. And if there is a redemption, you would probably sell the stock which has the least impact in terms of selling.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. And this $3 billion of sales we've seen of debt and equity, what you say is right. A lot of it would also be a portfolio sell. And then everybody will closely look at what, but after tomorrow India, more than the Indian news, what FOMC is going to say in a week or so's time.
Right. Ruchit, in terms of, some of these very well-known names, something like Asian Paint has corrected. We just spoke about HDFC. Havells has gone down. Titan has gone down. Now, these are stocks which have been into bull run for clearly a long time, if you would plot the long-term charts. For HDFC, maybe Titan, where do you think the long-term trend would change?
Yes, definitely the longer term charts, if you observe the monthly charts or quarterly charts, then the longer term chart structure of most of these names still looks quite positive. Specifically Asian Paints and HDFC, these two stocks which we have amongst the names which you just mentioned seems to be quite positive. So what happens is, usually when you know that the long term trend for the stock is intact, and when you are looking for an investment opportunity, you should always see whether the stock has retraced significantly or not. Now usually there are two type of correction. One is price correction, one is time correction. If the time correction in the stocks is over, and we've also seen a significant corrective move, about 50% or 61.8% retracement of the previous up move, then those would be the time wherein you should get into the stocks again for long term investment perspective. HDFC, as I said, the stock has seen a good price correction, about 15 odd percent from its higher levels, but I think in near term it would take some time correction now before again resuming the uptrend. So we may see some sort of sideways activity in maybe next 1.5 months further before the stock again resume its uptrend. So if you're a longer term investment, if you're long term if you're looking from investment perspective, then you should be ready to see some sort of time correction now, because the price correction may be behind us. Asian Paints would be another name, I think, which at current levels could be seen for long term investment, because 900 was the earlier resistance level which was broken out, and the stock then headed towards 1250. Now the prices have again come back to those levels, so I think these are very attractive levels to get into the Asian Paints at current levels.
Alright, Asian Paints is looking attractive. Mr. Harihar, what do you do with some of the steel names, say Tata Steel and JSW Steel? They've had a good run ever since the MIP was given. Now there are some murmurs that it's no longer required. So do you think they have the strength to, the steam to pull it off on their own? Has the domestic market healed enough? What would you do with the steel names?
See, it needs no reiteration that what has been positive for most of these steel companies has been the minimum import price of the MIP, as we all know it. What the government has done today is they have done a mix of MIP and what we call import duties. So that has definitely helped the steel companies. Now the question is, if you take a company like Tata Steel, I think it has gone up substantially, about 100% or something over the last 6 to 7 months. Now, ordinarily for a steel stock, I think after this kind of a rally, I don't see any great visibility in terms of earnings. Now the only possibility is that there could be a substantial growth in demand domestically, which at this point of time doesn't look likely with the kind of pressures that demonetization has created. So if I was an investor, I would probably take my money off most of the steel stocks.
Alright, so you'll be taking your money off on the steel stocks. Thank you, gentlemen, for speaking with us at NDTV Profit and giving us your views on all the stocks that you've discussed. Ms. Harihar, any disclosures?
No, of the stocks we spoke, I think Infi is a stock I have a position. You can assume that the others are recommended to our clients.
Ruchit, your disclosures?
I don't personally hold any of the stocks that we have recommended, but we have given those recommendations to our clients, so they may have some holdings.
And Mr. Prasad, your disclosures?
I have a small holding both in SBI and HPCL.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us on NDTV Profit.
Thank you.
Taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes, we'll focus on the global side of